Let's quickly talk about how to build a brand with dropshipping this year. Okay, so we are going to talk about private label dropshipping. No more generic stores. Actually, I mean, if you want to succeed in dropshipping, at some point you have to really claim or create a brand that you can actually call your own. Okay, so before I get into dropshipping with a brand, let me first talk to you about private label dropshipping. When you are thinking about dropshipping, you have a lot of business models. Some business models are actually pretty good than others. And private label dropshipping is another term for branded dropshipping or partnering with a supplier to create and develop branded products. Now, when I'm talking about private label dropshipping, you can actually create multiple products. Okay, and but the most important thing is that you have to spend a lot on marketing because when you think about branding, you're thinking about actually forming a strong foundation in the minds of customers so that you can elevate your brand, right? So basically, incorporating your own brand into your dropshipping business means you can develop a loyal customer base that's actually interested in your curated selection, even if other dropshippers sell similar items, because basically customers will buy from you not just because you're way cheaper, or it's just because you are adding value to their lives by curating the category, the assortment that you are selling. Okay, so a cohesive online shopping experience and brand identity sets you really apart from the competition and may allow you to charge a premium for the same items. That's what I'm just telling you. Okay, it doesn't mean that you are charging like a lower amount or the same amount. You can charge more if customers are thinking that customers are perceiving the value that you are bringing to the table. So the steps you need to take if you want to build a brand with dropshipping this year and you want to get away from the whole generic store thing, you need to identify a niche. See, the thing is, in this economy, there are thousands or even millions of niches. You have niches, you have sub niches. So you have to really identify a niche that works for your specific products. But the niche has to be monetizable. Okay. So basically, when it comes to venture capital, VC firms like to talk about an addressable market, the total addressable market. So your total addressable market has to be decent. You can't just choose a niche for your branded dropshipping business, and the niche it doesn't have the potential to generate enough revenue, because when you choose a dropshipping niche, you have to think about scaling, right? So if the niche by itself primarily is not doesn't have any potential, you can't really scale from there. So really important to choose your niche and identify the niche and choose it based on your experience, based on your knowledge, based on trends too. So if you want to build a brand with dropshipping this year, you have to really build your brand systematically. It just means that you got to look at marketing, you got to look at tactics, you got to look at sales funnel, you got to look at advertising, you got to look at several facets of your branding. Of course, everything starts when it comes to brand. Everything starts with your logo. Everything starts with your typography, your brand voice, the visuals that are associated with your brand, the visuals that are associated with your website, how you want to position yourself in the marketplace, how you want to position yourself in the eyes and minds of customers. Okay, so this is important. So when you think about creating a cohesive brand presence, you have to really understand that we're not just talking about just online, but also offline. If you think you have money and you want to start advertising, like not online, but you want to advertise on radio or TV, for instance, you got to have the same cohesive brand presence. Okay, so start by considering the products you want to sell or the overall shopping experience you want to create. It's all about the shopping experience you want to create for your potential customers, because customers may come first the first time for your interest in price, but they'll keep coming back and back and back and back and back for the shopping experience, not just for your brand, not just for the pricing, not just for the conditions, the shipping conditions, whatever. No, it's all about the experience. Okay, so you want to consider the visual aspects of your brand, like colors, fonts, and imagery. And you can use a website template, for instance, with preset color schemes or you can customize your own. Everything depends on what works for your business. But you have a lot of tools nowadays, from Canva to Photoshop to others, that you can really, you have, the choice is actually limitless when it comes to possibilities for your branding. If you want to build a brand with dropshipping this year, I want you to really think, once you actually have worked on the foundational aspects of your store, foundational aspects. Here I'm speaking about the niche, I'm speaking about your brand, I'm speaking about psychographics, I'm speaking about target markets, I'm speaking about the geography, I'm thinking about demographics, I'm thinking about a lot of things. Once you do that, you got to think about finding a supplier. See, when I say finding one supplier, you can find one supplier or several suppliers. But when it comes to dropshipping, especially branded dropshipping, you have to really forge a relationship with your supplier, because your supplier becomes pivotal in your branded dropshipping business model. Because you can really think about all the branding, all the marketing. You can do that actually upfront. But if your supplier is not really following your instructions, is not really bringing quality to the table, is not bringing quality of service, quality of products to the table, all those marketing things that you did beforehand will be lost. Okay, so supplier is really important. So you want to research suppliers based on their specialties. So if you are, let's say you want to go for product A, you want to research those suppliers that are in that niche A, that specialize on that niche, right? Because basically at the end of the day, you want quality in terms of service, you want quality in terms of logistics, and only a supplier who has experience in that field and that niche can really help you, can really deliver that experience. So once you find a supplier, you need to choose products, right? So if you want to build a brand with dropshipping this year, your products becomes central to your dropshipping offer. So your products is not just about the price. I want to insist on that. It's about the quality. It's about the curation. If you want to, like, depending on what you offer, you can aim to start with between 5 and 20 products, highlighting a few at a time. That way you can gauge what sells more while giving customers room to browse. Then you can adjust your inventory over time, or your even let's say your storytelling approach based on what shoppers are adding to their list and what they're actually passing over, right? So this is a dynamic process. It is a dynamic process that you have to really tweak over and over and over again. So now let's talk about one of my favorite topics, advertising. So if you want to brand with drop shipping, if you want to create a branded drop shipping store, you are entering a market, like a marketplace of millions of stores. And again, when we talk about having a drop shipping online business, you're not just competing with the guy next door. You're not competing with local players. You're competing with global players. Okay, so somebody can be in Georgia and order from a company in Vietnam. Somebody can be in Chicago and order from a supplier in Nigeria, for instance, right? So distance is no longer a problem. Geography is no longer a problem. So in that sense, you need to really understand that your how do I say it? Your suppliers are important, but also advertising going to help you. Advertising on social media, for instance, you can also advertise in other places, not just on social media, but social media is the easiest, is the fastest. You can also advertise with search engines such as Google, such as Bing, such as Yahoo. Okay, you do have options when it comes to advertising with social media. We can start with the simplest, Facebook. Facebook has about 3 billion users every month. That's a huge market. So in your niche, maybe you can reach 100,000 people. And that's all you need, actually, to have access to that coveted part of the market for your business. Okay. So it's important to understand that if you want to advertise on social media, you got to really have strong brand recognition. Okay. Because customers have to connect with your brand, they have to remember your brand on a deeper level, right? So once core elements of your aesthetic are in place, You have to stay consistent across your advertising efforts, from paid social media ads to email marketing campaigns. Email marketing can be really important too, especially from a flexibility point of view, because you want to vary the avenues for, I would say, the avenues for promotion, right? So you can try email marketing, you can try social media advertising, you can try other forms, you can try, like I said, PPC advertising also, depending on the response you're getting from the market. Another way to build a brand with dropshipping this year is to actually prioritize customer service. I want to insist on that because, again, going back to what I said to you a little earlier, if your customer service is not really top notch, you are wasting a lot of time, time and money up front. Okay, so it takes a lot of time and money and other resources to actually get the best of the best in terms of flexibility, in terms of what you really want, right? So you got to really make sure that you prioritize customer service. Now, what makes branded dropshipping profitable is outsourcing inventory management, but this also means abandoning control over the final stages of the customer experience, like product quality, packaging, and shipping. So for those 3 or 4 or 5 key processes, you got to really rely on your supplier's processes, which goes back to what I said earlier when I said when you're looking for a supplier, you have to really trust that supplier. You have to understand their operating processes, their SLAs, okay, their service level agreement, and you want to have a supplier who treats your customers as their own, because you are their customers. You are their customer, actually. So this is important to look at it from that point of view. And one thing I want you to think here also, I want you to think about is that you want to choose a reliable supplier with a strong track record. That's really important, right? Proven track record, 5 years, 10 years in your niche. But you also need to understand that the best way to offset the risk of error in order details, packaging, or shipping delays is to establish a seamless return policy and customer service plan for damaged or unsatisfactory products. Okay, so be sure to ask your supplier about their procedures for handling mistakes or returns. And believe me, mistakes or returns are going to happen. We're all humans. Stuff happen. Those types of situations happen all the time. If you want to build a brand with dropshipping this year, you need to also refine with customer feedback. See, the whole thing is when you are building a brand, you are just going off of your own inspiration or your team's inspiration. But the marketplace is going to give you feedback. The marketplace is going to tell you, hey, listen, this is good, this is not good. And so as you get feedback from customers, as you get feedback from the marketplace, you want to tweak your offer, okay, accordingly. So that way you don't have to spend a lot of cash, because marketplace feedback is free. Customers are not going to charge you $100 for feedback, right? That the same feedback you're getting from customers, you could have gotten it by actually commissioning surveys, or like you could have spent money to get that feedback. Okay, so it's important to understand that the bottom line is when I say feedback, it comes in terms of I would say online reviews, comes in terms of returns. Okay. It also comes in terms of the repeat business, because if customers are buying the same products over and over and over, then you know that you've got a winner in terms of products, right? You don't have to really wait for them to tell you specifically, we like this product more than others. No, you have to read between the lines, actually. So also asking for and implementing customer feedback is actually a great way for you to encourage customer advocacy, right? That's what you want, because when you have if you have customers who turn into your brand advocates, you are really promoting your brand continuously. Okay, because customers will feel motivated to recommend your brand to their peers. Okay, and when customers feel heard and when they feel heard and see that their input is taken seriously, they feel more invested in your brand's success. And that's what you want to have. You want to empower your customers. You want to make sure that they understand this is a win-win situation for you and them, right? So, and that's how you actually get you get repeat business, right? So you can also incentivize your customers with referrals, like can be points. Once they refer a customer to you, they can receive points, they can receive cash, they can receive merchandise. It's really cool. You can also implement customer loyalty programs, okay, so that you can really give back to your biggest supporters. Again, think about the fact that this is a win-win situation. It has to be a win-win situation, and because at the end of the day, you want to really you want to understand that your customers' success is your success. If your customers feel satisfied, if they grow, if they love the service, if they love the product, you're gonna grow too. You're going to reach new heights in your business sector. So when you think about branded dropshipping, you have to really understand that basically this is a legal process. Okay, don't listen to folks telling you that dropshipping branded products is illegal. No, it is it is legal. It is approved by authorities. Okay, just make sure that the brands in your supplier's portfolio provide consent, okay, and you avoid selling copyrighted or regulated items like firearms, tobacco, or alcohol. Those are regulated substances. And to become a branded dropshipper, you just need to make sure that you follow a certain strategy, and that strategy starts with you. Like I said a little earlier, you gotta define, you gotta develop, you gotta implement a cohesive brand story for your website and social media platforms. Okay, and just make sure that you get the right supplier for your branded packaging or private label products, and select products from their catalog. Improve the imagery of the products or descriptions as you see fit, and then you can list them on your own website. Okay, so this is a pretty safe process. There are a lot of benefits. There are a few drawbacks, by the way, and one of the main drawbacks of branded dropshipping, or any dropshipping model for that matter, is the lack of control over fulfillment. So you have to really trust your supplier, okay? Because if products arrive damaged or incorrect, customers hold you accountable, not the supplier, because they don't know that you have a dropshipping agreement, and you want to address their issues with strong customer service and clear return policies. And at the end of the day, you have the possibility to become a branded dropshipper on Shopify, on WooCommerce, on BigCommerce, on Shift for Shop, on other platforms. So this is really cool. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about how to build a brand with dropshipping this year. And the steps include identify a niche, building your brand, finding a supplier, choosing products, advertising your brand, prioritizing customer service, and refining with customer feedback. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.